We have one final group left before we break for lunch. Introduce Kelsey Abbott, who's going to be talking about Houghton energy efficiency team. So a little bit of a change up and talk about things a little bit local, close to home.
Okay, as you said, I'm Kelsey Abbott, and I'm here to talk about the community service project that my enterprise efficiency through energy and construction is involved with, and what HEAT is involved with, Houghton County energy efficiency. So we created Generations of Energy in 2008, and this provides assistance to low-income and elderly people who need assistance in this manner to make their homes more efficient. And this is done through labor and materials to make their homes more efficient in the winter months. And we also have partners with New Power Tour and other communities, or other groups in the community. So when we go into a home, we normally do the 9-point protocol, as shown here. And this is done to insulate the homes and seal air passages, because this is always an issue. And the picture shown is of a heat gun that we take on the premises of most of the sites. And this is a really easy way to show the people living there and the people we work with. Obviously, the blue is where there's a heat sink, so it's really cold there, and you can see from that pipe, or from that duct, that a lot of hot air is going to be escaping and cold air is going to be coming in. So we want to come in and insulate that. So we play a large role in our community, and so we've been weatherizing over 50 residential buildings in the Houghton County, and we help lower income families and elderly. And so this is to make an economic and thermal difference. So we also work with New Horizons students, and so these are at-risk high schoolers, and we do weatherization, and while this is taking place, they're learning skill set that they can apply later on in life, as well as it's providing mentorship to the students, good example, and promoting continuing education. So this is a picture of a house we went into on the left, and they had hung a space heater from the ceiling to heat the water pipes, so those wouldn't freeze in the winter. So we went in and insulated room joists and water pipes, so that could be removed because it's dangerous and pretty expensive. And this is a finished attic where we went in and put in rigid insulation and spray foam because it was really poorly insulated. And so as part of Generations of Energy, we became a competitor in this National Georgetown Energy Prize. This is a 2-year competition. It's a $5 million prize, and this is meant to bring communities together and raise the bar in energy efficiency. So this is awarded to the municipality that can develop and begin implementing plans for innovative, replicable, scalable, and continual reductions per capita of energy consumed. So this is for the natural, local gas and electric utilities. And this started in January of 2015. And we made it to the 50 semifinalists, and as such, Houghton County formed HEAT to compete. So HEAT determined that we could be competitive nationally by utilizing the generation of energy model that we created and scaling it up for bigger involvement, and then dramatically increasing the community involvement. So we do that through our other programs, utilizing and advertising existing programs, adding innovation, and expanding the education programs that we have in place. So we're 10 months into this 2-year competition, and the final selection, judgment, and awards will take place between January and June of 2017. So this is important to Houghton County because we have a high number of economically disadvantaged people, particularly the elderly who are on fixed income, and we have some of the highest electrical costs in the county, severe winters, and a very old housing stock. So it's most are over 50 years old, and this degradation causes to inefficient energy use. So you guys can help the local disadvantaged by getting involved, and if we should win this prize in 2017, we can use this money to help other disadvantaged people and promote energy efficiency projects throughout the county. And so to get involved, we have cards and stuff in the hall, and there are other info or pamphlets, and there's more information about HEAT, and if you go to this website, you can learn more about that. And we also have an iPad outside if you want to register through that. And through that, you can turbocharge your volunteer impact and get a more hands-on look at this, and you can schedule a group visit, so you can go through the 9-point protocol, and we have like a setup of how these things are done in buildings in the Carnegie Museum in downtown. And so you can go to this website and schedule a group and go through, and it'll teach you more ways about how to implement these fixes into your house and make your home more efficient in the winter months. That's all. Any questions?
Could you tell us more about how you identify your recipients as well as your participants?
Well, there's a process online, so it goes by income and amount of people that are in the house.
Mhm.
So it goes through that.
And how do you find like the youth partnerships, I guess?
Well, New Horizon is the program up through, so that's like the average high school students in the area. And they actually have a course that goes through energy efficiency stuff. So like the heat gun picture, they use that information to show like how our impacts are making, or how the things we're doing are making an impact. So how those are influencing things. And then one of the students who's actually involved built a wind turbine for their school. So that was a pretty cool thing. I'm not really sure. That's just been a long-standing connection we have with that student organization.
The high school student involvement is primarily at-risk high school students.
So the recipients to these projects, do they like apply themselves? And
Yeah.
how does, because the county's involved, do they like advertise it somehow?
Well, the county really was not involved initially. It was developed, the program was developed by New Power Tour, and then we partnered with New Power Tour, and those people were identified through the community, and organizations like Big Brothers and other community organizations would refer people to us. So it takes a lot of community outreach to reach the people that really need the help. But now Houghton County is involved, so it's actually gotten a little bit more press, and we have more and more people asking for help.
Yeah.
Where does the funding come from for a given house project? I might have missed that.
We originally got a lot of funding from Ford Motor Company Fund. They funded a large project that was supposed to last 2 years, but we really were efficient with our money, so we're just getting to the end of those funds. But a lot of it comes from community organizations, banks, businesses in the local community. We've applied for grants. We're just constantly trying to gather money for materials primarily, because our labor is volunteer.
Yeah, in the back.
That was the question I was going to ask, but some additional things about economics and budget. But
You know, and there's been some research done with this that, you know, when you hire somebody to come in to do this in your house, it may not, you know, your return on investment may take a while. But when you're working with volunteers or you're doing it yourself, the return on investment is a pretty short term, because a large portion of what you're doing is labor. There's not much material cost.
So what are your metrics to monitor this? Are you just tracking their energy use, or are you tracking their energy use and going back into the online and looking for improvements that way, and then also having them take a survey to see if they've changed their energy habits at all? Because all these could change the total result of these.
We've tried to go in and monitor some houses over time, and that's been difficult because of, you know, just dealing with people and getting access to the right information has been difficult. You can see a difference using a thermal imaging camera. We have had some clients come back to us after 2 months and said, hey, my gas bill is $70 cheaper than it was prior to this weatherization process. So there is some, you know, there is some major impacts depending on, of course, the house. Sometimes the housing is so bad that it's very difficult to make any impact, you know, make a great impact. I mean, you can make some impact, but you really, you know, you're struggling with leaky roofs and Very, very low.
For the Georgetown funds, what do they require to show that you're improving? Do you propose a metric to them, or do they?
They actually collect data from Upco, Artman, REA, and Central. And the data goes directly from those utilities to Georgetown.
So
And
they
the only-
do community,
Yeah, so the only thing they're measuring is they're only measuring natural gas and electricity. And